it's about time for another coffee break ramble. They say good things come in small packages, don't they? And I was amazed to unpack this. Now, I know I've spoken to you before, initially when I first got hold of a Pika 200, about how I love the fact, the way things were packed, and I love the way that everything was in one of these sort of semi-hard cases and it had been thought about. And I do think that's a thing that, you know, us photographers find attractive. But I just wanted to open this up and share the contents with you inside, because it's a little bit of a stranger. This is the Ciiti 100 Pro. It's the baby in the Ciiti line, and believe it or not, that's it. And that's how it compares to my mug of coffee size wise. Now, I'm not going to tip the mug that way because we'll have coffee all over the place, but it's teeny tiny. It runs on a lithium ion battery, which I'm going to pop in now. I think it's a very similar battery to the V1 Flash, and this is almost what this is. It's a little bit of a crossbreed. I can see technology from the V1 Flash, and I can see technology from the other Ciiti lights in the range. So in the little hard shell case, I got the battery, the light, the stand bracket with integral brolly holder, and the charger. Everything I need to make it work. Now, I've already said this is a little bit of a crossbreed, a little bit of a hybrid, and it is, because basically it fits beautifully into the Ciiti camp of lights. There's this at 100 watt seconds, then there's the Pika 200, there's the 300, which I keep saying is my favourite light, the 400, the 600 and the 1200. And this has every integrated feature to work alongside the Ciitis. High-speed sync, TTL, manual, stroboscopic. It even has a rudimentary modelling light built in. Now, I say rudimentary, you can still control its power, but on first fiddling, which is what we're doing now, I don't think I can control the colour temperature. In fact, I'm certain I can't. And you'll be able to see if I turn it down and point it towards you roughly, hopefully, you'll be able to see that there's a little LED at the bottom. Now, the reason I say that this is a hybrid is it also has the same sort of technology and functionality that you see in what we describe as a normal speed light. You know, the sort of thing that you'd stick on the hot shoe of your camera. You can see that the apertures of the flash are the same size. They're also magnetic, so you can use all the attachment kits that you can with this and the Pika 200 Pro, with the round head attachment, of course. And the reason I say it's a little bit of a hybrid is you can, and I'm sure if I get it right you'll be able to hear it if I turn the thing back on. Probably drained the battery already because I've literally just taken it out of the box. That's Murphy's Law, of course I have. Right, so I'll have to talk about the features. Basically, in fact, let me just take the battery out now and you can see. Battery comes out, sits in its dinky charging pod, and I connect without knocking my sign over. Cable, because everything's been thought about, I think, for minimalism in this, which is probably the right thing to do. I've got another video about which is the right flash for you, which power works, etc. So I don't want to go too much into that. But this, have you noticed, USB connections, you always get them wrong first time round. But it literally goes into the wall socket and charges. So I'm going to push that off to the side for my assistant to do. But I don't need it to be charged to talk to you about the functionality, because I'm able to zoom the head in this just as I am in this, just as you can in most speed lights. So you've heard it come on 18 to 80, so it's still got the same zoom ratio, and you can see that what basically happens, I'll take the magnetic bits off the front. When you're zooming something, what's basically happening is the flash tube is moving forwards and backwards in relation to the Fresnel of the front of the unit, and that has the effect of widening or narrowing the beam of light. Now, most speed lights these days do that type of thing, so you can adjust the throw of light to the focal length of lens that you have on, or you can decide aesthetically to narrow or widen the beam of light. Right, so I've popped a powered battery in. Not that there's a load to sort of show, because it's all pretty much, you know, straightforward, but you can see that the flash head zooms back and forth within the body just as it did with the speed light, and it gives me the ability to show you. I can change the channels. It's got all exactly the same functionality as anything else in the range. That's why they call it the one range. So I can use it TTL, I can use it stroboscopically, I can use it manually, I can change its channels, I can change its group, I can have the little cute modelling light on should I want to. I'm not convinced how much, I'm not convinced how clever that will be power wise, but I do want to show you how clear and full of information the LCD panel is at the back, considering its size. And that really is all that you need. It's a hybrid of sorts between the speed light and its bigger family members in the Ciiti Pro range. It's very, very impressive. Now, I did say that the magnetic accessories fit, and there you go, there's proof they do. I was using these on, because I've got a grid, I've got a blue gel and I've got a Fresnel. I was using these on the video I did for dropping waters and splashes. So that works quite well, and I think these are quite an invaluable tool. So it's 100 watt seconds compared to 76 watt seconds. The reason I use this on the liquids video was I know that it has in its sweet spot a flash duration of a 20,000th of a second, which is awesome for arresting movement. I've inquired what the spec is for this guy, and if you know anything about the other Ciiti lights, the high-speed sync, the fact that the transmitter receiver integration is the same on them all, so the receiver's built in, one transmitter will power and use this 100, a 200, a 300, a 400, a 600 and so on. So it's a one system thing, and I think that's really, really impressive. There's even two places to put that bracket in. If I wanted to, I can sit it back. And again, it's like when the Pika 200 became the Pika 200 Pro, that what they've done is there's little indents in the casing, and there's lugs on this, so there's no torsional twist, there's no rotation to it, it's not going to move. This is compatible with the S brackets as well, so you can use bigger modifiers should you want to, because obviously teeny tiny things, you don't want to put too much weight through there. And it's just, I think, a really clever addition to the Ciiti Pro family. It's bringing that power down and the size down. Now, what I don't know yet, because I've not tried it, is I don't know whether 76 watts of power to 100 watts of power. I've not got a definitive answer as of yet as to why you would want the difference. Obviously, there are glaringly big differences, like that will fit on your TTL hot shoe, that won't, but via the receiver it still does TTL. So it's got all of the same functionality, it just does it in a different way with a little bit more power, uses its magnetic head. It's a real, I hate to admit that I'm a bit of a gadget freak, but I am. And I love the fact that things pack down into small boxes because they're easy for transportation. And my first reaction to opening these and putting it together is, isn't that cool? Now I'm going to use it in the next couple of shots that I do in the studio, and I'll find out how useful it is for me, and I'll pass that on to you guys. But I just wanted you to have my reaction to having a look at the Pixar Pro Ciiti 100, which is exactly the same as the Godox 100 units. I'm a big fan of Pixar Pro because I think the customer service is awesome. They're just nice people to deal with. But that's my initial impression to opening the box and seeing what's inside. And do you know what? I am a bit staggered. High speed sync, TTL, controllable from the same transmitter, magnetic HUD, can vary the spread of the beam of light by zooming the head. It's just tiny. Now, one of the things that I do struggle with is, obviously, you know, people have seen me over the years using Profoto, using Broncolor, using Elinchrom, and I have been an ambassador for Elinchrom as the longest. And what I don't want to get in the message, I don't want people to think this is good for the price, because that unit is £269, I think, comparable to 219 for the Flash, so there's not even a lot in it there. And it's very hard to eulogise about a product that's cheaper than another product and not say it's really good bang for buck wise. It is good for bang for buck wise, and in, you know, today's economy, every penny saved is a penny earned. But I don't believe if you're choosing Ciiti flash equipment that you're compromising on quality or functionality in any way, shape or form. You're just getting a really, really, really good product and saving money. So I can't see where the downside is, other than it's hard for me to articulate that I'm saying it's really good and not just because of the price. And that has amazed me somewhat by its functionality, by the crossbreed and the integration of the Speedlight technology and the Ciiti Pro technology into one unit that's teeny tiny, that's no hardship to take anywhere, and has some real usable features for creating great pictures. What more is there to want? What more is there to need? Like I say, I'm going to put it through its paces, see how it's like in a real usable world, and I'll report that back. But I'm starting to ramble now, and that's not just my age, because I've said everything I think I need to or want to say on my initial look at the equipment, and I am genuinely staggered at the size, so I'm looking forward to using it. Till then, Thank you for listening. Click like, press subscribe, do all the things you're supposed to do that the young uns will tell us is the cool thing to do. I'll be very grateful. Till next time.